A pretense of aid. That's how a UN spokesman has described the US and Israeli-backed food distribution operation in Gaza. The comments coming as aid centres in Gaza are closed today, with growing calls for an independent investigation into the killings of dozens of people. Backed food distribution operation in Gaza. The comments coming as aid centres in Gaza are closed today, with growing calls for an independent investigation. Said it was closing its sites for update, organisation and efficiency improvements works. The group had been operating 3 aid centres, with a 4th yet to open, concentrated in the south of the Strip. Rescue workers say at least 12 Palestinians have been killed and several others injured in an Israeli airstrike on a school in Khan Yunis. Eyewitnesses reporting that an Israeli drone struck 2 tents, which were housing dozens of displaced people, including women and children. The Civil Defence Agency said rescue workers had recovered the bodies of 2 children. According to the UN, the majority of Gazans facing catastrophic malnutrition are actually in the north of the territory. That's above the Netzarim corridor, a strip occupied by Israeli forces. The GHF has not set up a centre north of the strip. This Palestinian family said they feared travelling south to get aid.
What will the children eat? How are they going to stay alive without this food? My daughter died of malnutrition. We were told to come take food from the soup kitchen, and now the food is gone.
This aid, for me as well as many others, is considered a glimpse of hope. But unfortunately, in light of the lines of humiliation and insult the people are facing in the south, in light of the mass crowding, in light of the daily killings of people who go to get aid, the unjust distribution of this aid, and the lack of enough aid for people, I did not even think about going to get it.
The president of the International Committee of the Red Cross has told the BBC the situation in Gaza has become worse than hell on earth. She's been speaking to our international editor, Jeremy Bowen.
You were in Gaza earlier this month, and in April you made some remarks, and among those you said that Gaza was hell on earth. Has anything changed?
It has become worse. Humanity is failing in Gaza. It is failing. We cannot continue to watch what is happening. It's surpassing any acceptable legal, moral, and humane standard. The level of destruction, the level of suffering, but more importantly, the fact that we are watching a people being entirely stripped of its human dignity should really shock our collective conscience.
Israel, of course, says it's acting in self-defense.
Every state has a right to defend itself. And every mother has a right to see her children return. There's no excuse for hostage-taking. There is no excuse for depriving children from their access to food, health, and security. There are rules in the conduct of hostilities that every party to every conflict has to respect.
So you are talking, though, let's be clear about this, about the consequences of Israel's offensive.
It's the consequence, as far as I'm concerned, of the whole world watching a type of warfare that shows utmost disrespect for civilians, that deprives civilians of their dignity entirely. Today we are in it. Today we can reverse it. We can save lives today. That's why it's important to act now. State leaders are under an obligation to act. I'm calling on them to do something and to do more and to do what they can, because it will reverberate. It will haunt them. It will reach their doorsteps.
A really powerful and passionate interview that Jeremy conducted there with the president of the International Red Cross. He joined me from Geneva to reflect on the conversation.
I felt she spoke with a great deal of moral clarity and authority, not just backed up by the weight of the organisation that she heads. The International Red Cross has been helping alleviating the suffering of civilians and victims of war for more than 150 years. I think it's because she would absolutely say they're not taking sides, that they are a neutral organisation. That's how they operate. But what they are seeing, that's what she was saying to me, that what they were seeing is an affront to the conscience of the world. She said that we are seeing there an entire people being stripped of human dignity. And she also said that this has really bad implications for the future, not just for the Israelis and Palestinians, but for all of those of us around the world, many millions who could be affected by war.